Welcome to my evening at Magic Kingdom. Thought I would take you with me for a stroll around the park for a little bit. My family has decided that the teacups were in their future. They also want to do some other spinny rides, and I don't do spinny rides very well. So I figured I would just take a walk around, take you with me, let you see what I see. So right now we started at the teacup. I think I'll walk over to Main Street. It's a beautiful night. It has definitely gotten chillier today. There was some rain this morning, and there's a cold front coming in tonight and tomorrow. Tomorrow, I believe, is supposed to be a high in the mid to upper 50s, and it has been highs around 80, a little above 80, lows around 65 for the past couple of weeks. So it's going to be quite the change tomorrow. It already is tonight. We worked and schooled remotely this morning from Florida, from where we're staying here, and decided that we still need to come out to the parks. Today was also the first day of some of the Magic Kingdom annual pass holder merchandise, and of course I'm a sucker for new and different merchandise, so that hit the wallet a little harder than I expected it to, but they actually had sweatshirts this time, and we are flush with t-shirts, and so it was really nice to see some cute sweatshirts. So we picked up some matching sweatshirts for the girls and I. I like visiting the parks at all different times of year, but I have to say that this is my favorite time of year to be in the Disney parks. The lighting is always beautiful in the evenings, but it's especially beautiful after they put up the Christmas and holiday decorations. And in the park, it gets darker earlier than it does in the summer, and so you get more of that amazing lighting. Disney does such a great job lighting their parks at night. It's definitely more than just utility, it's beauty. It's an art in and of itself. So nice to see the walkways really so clear, where there's just almost no one in front of you walking around. I can't imagine having missed this time. I know it's not the right time for everyone to be traveling. I'm just really happy that it worked out so well for my family to visit the parks, because it's been an incredible time for us to visit. We have been here, I think, for 12 days now. We never stay this long. We've never stayed this long. But because everything that we're doing for work and school is remote, we took advantage of being able to have some of that extra time away and being able to just do something completely different. And home for me is in Minnesota, and it was 20 degrees apparently today in Minnesota. So as much as it's chillier here today, it's not 20 degrees. And all of these newer grassy areas that have been used in the past for specialty fireworks viewing or parade viewing are all open all day right now for folks to just sit and relax. It's not actually grass, it's more of a really soft astroturf, but they're great places to hang out and to be away from folks and be able to sit, for kids to run around. I think I'm gonna go take a walk into Adventureland from here and then come back around to Main Street after the lights pop on.
Like she didn't actually get her dress until like, okay, yeah.
Whoops, some of the lights are popping on already. Actually right over there by Crystal Palace. Tomorrow morning, Crystal Palace will be accepting reservations. They'll be opening up again. So I'll be making reservations tomorrow morning bright and early for a family who's traveling in a couple of weeks.
Us today. For the health and safety of everyone, face coverings must fully cover your nose and mouth and be worn at all times, including when taking photographs. The exception will be when eating or drinking while stationary. Guests that do not comply will be asked to leave. Wash your hands often and thoroughly, cover your mouth and nose when coughing and sneezing, and maintain physical distancing. Thank you for your cooperation.
I just have to stop and take a look at the castle. The sun going down with the new coloring on the castle, I think is stunning. It just pops against the sky. I know that the new paint color on the castle has been controversial for some. I didn't know what I thought until I saw it in person. Even pictures didn't really do anything for me, but in person, it stands out against the sky so much more than it did before. And as you heard, there was an announcement about face coverings, distancing, washing your hands. Those happen from time to time in all the parks as just reminders. And then there are folks who are wandering around who also are reminding, with signs that remind folks to wear masks appropriately or maintain distancing. So it is a different type of visit to Disney World, but it's still, for me, incredibly magical. And in some ways, I mean, I do really miss the fireworks. I miss a lot of the shows, but it's a trade-off to have so few people around me everywhere. And so, you know, as a family who does travel pretty frequently, this I think has been incredible. And we visited in early July when the resorts reopened before the parks opened. We visited late July, early August. Again, after the parks were open again, it was even slower at that point. In the parks, there were very, very few people here. Clearly, the crowds have picked up a little bit, but I could never call this crowded. This is, you know, a small fraction of the number of people that we see at this time of year when we visit. Oh, and as I walk past, I should mention, this is where the Jungle Navigation Company Skipper Canteen restaurant is located. It's fairly new. We actually hadn't eaten there until a couple of days ago, and I was incredibly impressed. The food was wonderful. The portion sizes were right on. The flavors were just different. They were very different than something I would make at home, different than things that I would enjoy in other restaurants, and so we loved it. We will definitely be returning. thing you will notice with the distancing and the lack of switchbacks in the line queues is that the distance of the lines is quite long, and they look like they would be incredibly long waits, when in fact you might only be waiting for 15 or 20 minutes, maybe a half an hour in some cases. Again, a couple of days ago when we were here, the line for Big Thunder was posted at 50 minutes, and we were on and off in 20. So I think even estimates of how long the lines might take can be way off and are usually quite a bit slower. I'm gonna walk around. Even though it's chilly out, you'll notice that folks still love their Dole Whips. It's always a popular place regardless of the weather and the temperature. And as you may have noticed from the folks that I've been passing and from the announcement earlier, the only times you are able to remove your mask is if you are in a designated relaxation station or if you are stationary and eating or drinking. And so that's to allow folks to be able to go around you, but you can't actually walk with food or beverage and have your mask off during that time. Guests are not supposed to have food or beverage in line queues, though, if you have a bottle of water and you're, lifting your mask for a second to have a quick sip, that's fine. But having your mask off is just not something that's allowed at all, which I quite like. I feel comforted with that.
I see where you're going. No problem.
We've been on it. I feel like this is a part of the park that usually is quite bottlenecked. It's tough to walk behind folks or around folks, and it's really easy to walk through right now. Plenty of seating available. This is overflow seating for Pecos Bills. And over here on my left is one of those seated relaxation areas. There are only a few tables there spaced to make sure that parties are quite far apart from each other. And you're able to go into this area, be seated at a table. And there are cast members that are paying attention to these spaces and what they look like. And on busy days, they're actually keeping track of who comes in and out, how much time you've been in that space, just to allow for other folks to have some time as well. You know, I see a question about the stroller parking. At this time, I don't believe that cast members are moving the strollers, or not quite as much as they used to. Even the strollers, in some cases, are distanced. There are just so few people in the parks overall that there aren't as densely populated stroller parking areas. And so I haven't seen cast members actually moving strollers around. And I know they weren't at all over the summer, that they weren't even touching them. There were so few people over the summer, even fewer than there are now. You can believe that. But even so, some of the stroller parking areas are marked off. And when days are busier, there are people who are monitoring, though, where people put their strollers. So they're pointing to specific areas. But again, when I walk past some of these spaces, you'll notice that they're just, I mean, there aren't the massive strollers that you would normally see. So here's one space. For example, there's what, a dozen, just over a dozen strollers? Not even. So it's not necessary for them to move them around significantly because the sections are so small.
All times, including when taking photographs. The exception will be when eating or drinking while stationary. Guests that do not comply will be asked to leave. Wash your hands often and thoroughly, cover your mouth and nose when coughing or sneezing, and maintain physical distancing. Thank you for your cooperation.
About a week and a half ago, we ate at Liberty Tree Tavern. We're coming up on Liberty Tree Tavern and the Diamond Horseshoe over here on the right. And they had overflow seating at Diamond Horseshoe. And so we were actually seated in the Diamond Horseshoe building. And again, with the tables so far apart, it was really a wonderful experience. I really didn't know what I would think. I haven't eaten inside other than here. I mean, not at all at home. So it's been months. But we actually also had one of the last seatings of the day. So we were almost alone in Diamond Horseshoe. When we walked in, there were 3 other families. When we left, we were the only ones there. And so that seems to be maybe something that I'll keep in mind going forward, is that if we can book the last seating of the day, that means that we'll be in there with even fewer people than we would. And the tables were spaced well over 6 feet apart. All right. So I'm going to walk from Liberty Square into Fantasyland. This is normally another place that will have dense bottlenecks of folks, just to see what the crowds look like there. And I've got the camera right about at my eye height, so this is what I'm seeing. I see a larger group of folks that look to be all together in their same matching t-shirts.
So there's some people who are like such fanatics about that ride.
Yeah, it looks like there are some folks who are, oh, this might be the line. That's the line for Peter Pan is spaced out into this space that you can see on the ground, those markers. are for parties that are in line for a Peter Pan, and so it travels around in a U shape right over there under this bridge. Because again, there are no switchbacks at all in that line queue, so you're walking straight through. The one thing that this has shown me with how long the lines are, even with the distancing, is how brilliant the engineering is with the ride switchbacks. In normal times, that you can fit so many people in such a small space. But you notice it now when everybody is really spread out.
There's a big sign over there.
There is some construction being done on It's a Small World.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
So again, this is typically in normal times a tighter area. And we've still been able to walk through pretty easily without even really slowing down. And here's that large party who are all together. So Liberty Tree Tavern has their standard menu, but their standard menu at dinner is the all-you-care-to-eat Thanksgiving meal. And so we went for dinner and it was a standard meal available. And then they also had the allergy menu. My daughter's allergic to peanuts and tree nuts. And so we were easily able to get some things accommodated for her. But yeah, it was a standard full meal, and we booked it there specifically because we were here around Thanksgiving. And while we were going to Raglan Road for Thanksgiving, because that's our favorite restaurant, I think in all of Disney World, we knew we wanted a Thanksgiving type meal. And it did not disappoint. Neither of them did. So here's a larger stroller parking area. Let's see here. There are definitely some open spaces, and I don't see anyone at all moving them around. But again, they don't have to be right next to each other because there's still plenty of space for anyone who would come with a stroller. Walk around into New Fantasyland, but I realized the castle's right here. And I love walking through the castle and looking at the castle and being around the castle. So let's go through the castle. I can see that the lights are on Main Street. Look at that view. that view. It's so interesting. Now more than ever, I've noticed folks just finding places to sit or stand in this hub area and just hanging out. Not necessarily taking pictures, just relaxing, and a little bit later at night, they'll just have a seat and stay and enjoy the atmosphere. And that is not something that would normally happen unless you're specifically waiting for a parade or fireworks. It just makes for such a relaxing atmosphere. I'm definitely gonna head down the middle of Main Street there.
Us today. For the health and safety of everyone, face coverings must fully cover your nose and mouth and be worn at all times, including when taking photographs. The exception would be when eating or drinking while stationary. Guests that do not comply will be asked to leave. Wash your hands often and thoroughly, cover your mouth and nose when coughing is sneezing, and maintain physical distancing. Thank you for your cooperation.
Love that tree. Let me get out of the way of the picture. Walk down the middle of Main Street for a minute. Make sure I don't trip on the tracks. Probably the longest line right now is the line for Starbucks. Cracks me up. So I've waited in that line. And if you're enjoying this live stream, if you'd like to see more live streams and get notified of our videos, definitely like and subscribe on YouTube. If you are watching on Facebook, please visit Wizarding Wands and Mickey Ears on YouTube, and be sure to like and subscribe our YouTube channel. The more folks we have, the more more content we're able to bring, and in easier ways. And we're really trying to get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. And so if you've got friends or family or other Disney fans you know, please share out our channel so that we can bring more to you and more often. Hang out here for a couple of minutes because I see some cast members coming out right by this gate, and it makes me think that we might be able to catch a cavalcade in a moment. I'm going to stand off to the side here and just enjoy the atmosphere and watching people walk around. But oh yeah, we definitely have a bunch of cast members coming out here, as you can see. I'm going to keep an eye on that gate. The gate is right in between the Harmony Barbershop and the fire station. And the fire station is where you can pick up your cards if you are interested in playing the Sorcerer of the Magic Kingdom game. If you've never played it before, it's a free game. You open portals with a key card, you use your magic band, and you defeat the villains. And it's fun. It was something that my kids loved to do for several years. And then right now they're all about the rides and the shopping and the Star Wars. So they have changed over time.
Hey everybody, it's the holidays! Time for something sweet!
It's a marshmallow world in the winter.
We've got yummy treats for everyone! Candy, candy,
Sugar and spice make cookies so nice. Some yummy world filled with sweethearts. It's a sweet trip to the candy shop. Scrunches, 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 yummy, yummy,
Well, that's fun. Last couple of times at this time of day, we saw Santa. So I was sure it was going to be Santa, but I was excited to see something different.
Here's the visitor nurse today. For the health and safety of everyone, face coverings must fully cover your nose and mouth and be worn at all times, including when taking photographs. The exception will be when eating or drinking while stationary. Guests that do not comply will be asked to leave. Wash your hands often and thoroughly, cover your mouth and nose when coughing and sneezing, and maintain physical distancing. Thank you for your cooperation.
Just love these toy soldiers. Another store that's had a line these days is the confectionery. It's such a small space. They only allow a few people in there at a time. And there's a cast member walking around with a sign that says, for your safety, maintain physical distancing. And I'm sure she's going back around the parade route.
We done? I think so. We're towards the exit.
But yeah, here's the line for the confectionery. It's always moved very quickly when we've been in it. I mean, there are only, what, half a dozen families in line. But the shop is fairly empty. Trying not to get in the way of everybody's pictures. Here's a view down Main Street in this direction.
Okay, yeah.
Not quite dark enough for the castle projections to be starting just yet. It will in a little bit here. And then keep an eye out on the YouTube channel because there will be a video coming of some of the castle projections. Some of the larger shops, like the Emporium here, have specific doors designated as entrance and exit doors. And when it's especially busy, they monitor the number of folks in the stores, and then we'll have lines for entry as well, just like the confectionery, to ensure that the stores aren't too packed. And I'm just going to stand here for a few minutes because I believe that the cavalcade should be coming back in this direction. And in the meantime, we can take a look at some of the some of the decorations and the castle. So fun, you can see the carousel, Prince Charming carousel, through the castle. So we're only going to be here for a little bit longer, and then tonight we are heading over to Give Kids the World Village for their fundraiser, the Night of a Million Lights. So from what I understand, it's more like 3 million lights. And that it'll look something like the Festival of Lights that they used to have at Hollywood Studios. So I'm very excited. Normally Give Kids the World Village is not open to folks who are not guests there. It's where the Make-A-Wish families stay. But since they are not hosting Make-A-Wish families at this time, they are hosting this fundraiser for the public. So I'm excited to see it. We had been thinking about getting tickets for a long time. And their tickets, though they're for the entire time, it's from 5 until 10 o'clock at night. You have a specific window that you sign up for, and then they request that you stay only for that 2-hour window to allow for enough folks to visit and also to be able to have distancing. And I believe the tickets include ice cream and maybe some other smaller treats as well. So anytime my kids hear the word ice cream, they're still of that age where that's pretty exciting to them. Even on a cold night. Or cold for Florida, I suppose. It's not even cold, it's very pleasant. And here we go. We see the cavalcade coming on back this direction. Folks who stop around and watch the cavalcades, but it's really early evening. at a Disney park. And this is not crowded. This is, you know, folks comfortably standing as far away from other folks as they would like to. I'm completely by myself over here. I love that little car. So cute.
Merry Christmas, everybody! Hey, everybody! It's the holidays! Time for something sweet!
It's a marshmallow world in the winter.
We've got yummy treats for everyone! Candy, candy, candy! Peppermint wreaths or peppermint sticks. Dwarves, we make it all! Sweet for your sweet girl.
I'm gonna hang around for just a little bit longer, and then I'm gonna grab a bite to eat with my family and get ready to go to give Kids the World Village in a little bit here. Ooh, might be the first castle projection coming up here soon. Haha, there it was! Able to catch the first fireworks burst of the night. Very fun. Such a beautiful view. I am really ready for the Tron coaster to be done. Not as much for the Tron coaster, but because I'm really ready to ride on the train again. And the train is down because of the Tron coaster and the construction. Can't get enough of that view.